Hey guys, DMV SoloRider back with another video. I'm out in Wardensville, West Virginia, making my way onto my favorite Route 48, heading towards, I don't know, maybe Davis, maybe we'll go all the way out to Elkins. I am riding. I was actually just out here, 10 days ago, a week ago, something like that. I took my brand new 2025 Challenger Limited with the PowerPlus 112 out here for my break-in ride. And it was just an amazing day out on the bike. And I'm off. I was off yesterday and I'm off today. And obviously I was going for a nice long ride, and it's like 75 degrees. It's beautiful out. And I just said, I'm going right back out there. I will talk a bit about my preliminary thoughts on the new bike. Got almost 900 miles on it. I think it's enough for me to offer my reasonable opinion on what I think so far and why. Certainly nothing approaching a review. I did have an interesting start to my day today. This is the beginning of 48. I had a bee in my helmet, and I was riding out here, kind of once you get off the main highway, going through some, not super twisty roads, but twisty roads. Hold on. And so I'm going down these twisty roads downhill. It's not like you can stop and put your kickstand down. Your bike will just tip over. So I'm going down these twisty roads. All of a sudden I feel a burning pain in my forehead. And I'm like, what the hell? And after about a minute, I'm moving my helmet around. I opened my face mask. I squashed a bee, basically. Finally was able to stop. Took my helmet off. The dead bee fell right out. It does not feel good. He stung me a bunch of times. Not a bee. It looked like a bee, but it stung me several times. So maybe it was a yellow jacket. It sucked. Posted a picture of the victim on Instagram. And also, I totally forgot to bring my clamp for my backward facing camera, so you're just stuck with this. My apologies, you don't get to see my beautiful mug. But yeah, look at it, guys. It's just freaking amazing. Hope my camera's positioned correctly, because this is why I'm here. It's just absolutely beautiful. This highway, Route 48, cutting through West Virginia. This is like something you'd find out west, cutting through mountains, bridges over valleys, just amazing. I will put the ride map up on the screen. I don't know if I'm actually going to do this full ride today. I'll put the one that I filmed previously up on the screen. In case you want to do it, I highly recommend it. You just can't beat this ride if you want a nice afternoon out on your bike. It's just fantastic. In case you're wondering, this is my vape pen. I have it on this little retractable lanyard to keep it from falling. All I need, guys, are my new handlebars, so I'm sitting back, and then a roof and some air conditioning, and I am good. On that note, I did order KST Customs handlebars. They're big pullback bars. Hopefully I'll get them soon. Maybe another week from now. I've also ordered a brand new sissy bar, a huge chrome sissy bar for this bike, because it's just that sissy bar, that Ginch Chopper sissy bar makes the bike, completes the picture, and it's super useful. Lots of utility with that bar. And since I don't ride with passengers, I don't need anything with a backrest. I just have a sissy bar, big tall bar. And that's probably all I'm doing to this bike. I already bought soft lowers. Won't need those till the winter. I bought the little Indian motorcycle tank bolt cover. It's basically you take the old bolt out, put the new one in, and this is a magnet. Covers up that unsightly tank bolt. Highly recommended. Should not cost 40 bucks because that's how it should come from the factory. Look at that. This is what I love, cutting through little mountains, little hills, all the rocks. Hopefully you're getting some good sound from the exhaust, I will say, and this holds true for the 2025 Challenger with the 112 and my old 108. I love the sound of the bike when you're under power out on the road. You get plenty of sound in your helmet. It sounds great. It's not overwhelming. Doesn't drive you crazy after a long period of time. You know, the only negative with the stock exhaust on the Challenger is at a stop, it sounds like a sewing machine. It's just the way it is. But I'm not at a stop very long, so I don't really care. I think putting pipes on this bike, you know, maybe someday I'll hear a pipe that just sounds too good to be true and I'll have to put it on. But it's not something that you know, I feel compelled to do. I actually, you know, when I was shopping for bikes, there was a dealer that had a 2025 with I think with some Reinhardt slip-ons. They sounded nice, but you know, it just wasn't something I cared about. What's he riding? That's nice, Himalayan. Probably going as fast as he can. So what else am I thinking of getting for the bike? I mean, maybe a new flared windshield. I'm gonna wait and get my new handlebars. You know, I think after I got my KST Customs bars on the last Challenger, I can't quite remember. I think I switched the windshields back and forth to see how they felt, and I didn't really sense much of a difference. So I'll wait and get those handlebars, see how it is, because you know, my old Challenger, the bars that I got came back 5 inches. The ones that I just ordered are going to come back 6 inches. I want to make sure I'm perfectly flush with the back of the seat so I can get the true perfect lazy boy experience. I'm a little worried that the wiring isn't going to reach, but KST assures me not a problem. Even the wires for the fancy mirrors and the rider aids, not a problem. So we will see. But I'll wait to get those handlebars and then see what I want to do about a windshield. There's always Freedom shields as well. I tried one of their shields on my last Challenger. It didn't really work for me. I had a Freedom shield on my Indian Scout, actually, a long time ago, and it was great. They make great products, very popular. I hate ordering something like that from a small business and then having to return it because it doesn't work for me. So we will see. You can see the rider aids lighting up. Everyone's in full wave mode today. Beautiful. I'll check the footage next time I stop, see if my camera's getting up high enough. You know, these are stock bars. I'm leaning way far forward, so it's kind of hard to get up there like this. Might need to put a little extension piece in so you can see what I'm seeing. When I film rides, I like you to see the dash, the screen, a little bit of the tank, but see the road. You know, this highway, it's just all sweepers. Well, I don't know that this video session is getting off to a good start. Camera froze. I think my GoPros have seen better days. All right. have no idea how much I actually got, so I'm gonna have to start over. You know, the 2025 it's the same exact bike as my 2020, same suspension, same everything. The only difference is the engine. And you know, I'm just gonna tell you, it feels great. It feels just as great as my old bike. You know, soaks up bumps in the road. I've got the rear suspension. It comes set for about 200 pounds. You can adjust it very easily if you need more. I don't think I ever needed to make an adjustment for the rear suspension setting on my old bike. And as of right now, the current bike, 200 pounds, is getting the job done. We'll see how it does when I take my first road trip after I get the bike set up for it. But you know, if I'm 175, 180, it's not like I'm carrying 100 pounds of stuff. You know, I got a little bit in the camera bag and one solid bag, toolkit in the other. That's about it. Look at that. Man, if I lost a lot of footage because of a battery issue or a bad GoPro, I'll be upset. It's just beautiful out here. I know when I rode the 112 during demo day, I kind of poo-pooed the rider aids, I poo-pooed the 112. Obviously, I don't feel that way after 900 miles on the bike. I'm actually going to say, I'm going to give a big compliment to Indian. I think their rider aid technology works really well. Obviously, if you're in a group ride surrounded by a lot of bikes, you're going to get some distraction, but in the real world riding, it's been great. You know, yeah, you'll get your blind spot monitoring coming up quite often. You get used to that. I think what I find to be immensely valuable is the tailgate warning. And by the way, you know, I've got CarPlay up now. The warning comes up on CarPlay. You know, if it's a blind spot on the side, it'll light up. If it's a tailgate warning, it lights up on the bottom. Works really well, and it has actually alerted me to some cars behind me that were pretty close, that because I wasn't looking in a mirror right at that moment, I might not have noticed till it was too late. So, you know, kudos to Indian for their implementation of this. I think it works really well. Let's talk about what I'm sure anyone tuning in to hear about the PowerPlus 112 wants to know is about the PowerPlus 112. You know, after demo day, I said, you know, basically I didn't think the 112, that the juice was worth the squeeze. And I said, as I recall, I wouldn't buy a 112 for more than a 108. And I wouldn't buy a 112 over a stock Road Glide or Street Glide, you know, the 117. I didn't think it was worth the premium. Well, after 900 miles, I mean, I will back off that to an extent. I mean, it feels great, just to be clear. The 112 feels amazing. The 108 is an amazing engine and it feels great. And in comparing the two, it's really hard for me to quantify the difference. You know, it's a little more horsepower, it's a little more torque, small amounts. But I can't sit here and say that, you know, riding this bike in sport mode and gunning the engine, that it feels that much different than a 108. To be honest, you know, does it feel maybe a little different? Sure, but it's, you know, what I say is the 112 is an enhancement of an already outstanding motor, and the differences are qualitative, not quantitative. When I'm riding this 112, it's everything that the 108 was, just a little better. And, you know, I've been trying to figure out, well, how can I explain this in a way that makes sense in my non-expert way? And, you know, I keep coming back to this concept of, you know, if the 108 is a wonderful chocolate cake, you know, tons of frosting and all that, the 112 is like just a little extra frosting to make it that much better. That's the best. After 900 miles, that's the best way I can describe it, the difference between the two. It's not that you're going so much faster, you feel so much more power, but the way the power feels in the bike is just a little heartier. It feels a little better. It's just hardier is the best adjective I can give it. It feels great. Would I, if I was shopping for a bike and it was either a 108 at MSRP or a 112 at MSRP, would I buy the 112? Probably not. I got the 112 for the price of a 108. And yeah, I probably could have gotten a 108 for less than MSRP. You know, I could have saved a few grand off that. But I wanted a new bike. I got a really good discount on this. I got great trade-in value based on the market for the FTR. So I was like, yeah, give me a 112, let's go. I don't regret it in the least bit. But if you're shopping for a brand new bike, and again, this is after 919 miles, and you get offered a great deal on a 108, but not a good deal on a 112, go for the 108. If you want a 112, try and get a deal on it. You know, do the math. I think it's like, you know, the cost of the 112 over the 108 is like $3 grand. I think if you buy the kit to upgrade a 108, it's like $1,400, $1,500. Then you got labor, so it's maybe $3,000 expense. You know, if you already have a 108, maybe look and see if you can get a deal on that. Maybe at the end of the year, some dealers will offer a discount on the parts, discount on installation, you know, who knows. That's what I would say. You know, get a 112 if you get a really good deal on it. Otherwise, don't hesitate to jump on a 108 because it's the best value on the road for a V-twin bagger, period, hands down. 112 is better, but it's all about the money at that point. The one caveat I would say is I don't recall off the top of my head if you can get the rider aids on the 108. It may just be for the 112. And if that's the case, well, then you have some thinking to do if that's really important to you. It works well. It's worth having. I certainly wouldn't spend $3,000 to get it, but would I spend, say, $1,000 more than a 108 to get it? $1,500 more? Maybe I would, based on my experience using it so far. And that's really what I can tell you about the engine right now. You know, I'm very content, I'm very happy. I am so thrilled to be back on a bagger. It's so nice to just jump on your bike, know you can be out for 10 hours without a care in the world. That just wasn't something I could do on the FTR, not even close. You know, a 3-hour day with lots of stops. That was a good day on the FTR for me. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, whatever it ends up being. Hope you, if you're thinking about getting a PowerPlus 112, Challenger, Chieftain, they're all amazing. Hopefully I've given you some food for thought. If you have a 108 and you're thinking about an upgrade, hopefully that helps. And you know, I'll keep sharing my thoughts as we go, and eventually I'll do one of my hour-long reviews. That might be hard. I've already done one of those on a Challenger. I don't know that I got another 1-hour review in me. That's like 20 hours of work. There's a lot of editing, brother. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. I would certainly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Helps more people find my content. But until next time, y'all stay safe out there. DMV SoloRider is out.